Hey guys, what's up? It's me, the Gaming Spinosaurus, here with another epic video. Today, we will be looking at Darth Jar Jar Theory. That's right, I've come up with a Darth Jar Jar Theory. It's genius, beautiful, greatest you've ever seen. Yeah, let's get into the video. Star Wars is in a bad place right now. Now, the fan base is split up between people who like the sequel trilogy and people with more than one brain cell. So now, I have arrived to save Star Wars single-handedly with a Darth Jar Jar theory, because that's what Star Wars needs. Darth Jar Jar. So when you think about Darth Jar Jar, you laugh, usually, because Jar Jar's a complete joke. He's a meme. Like, who takes Jar Jar seriously? But, genuinely, when you see how much evidence there is for this theory, you'll be surprised. And I'm very surprised that I'm making this video. I thought Darth Jar Jar was a laugh. Till me and my friend were talking one day, and we were just talking, right? And the conversation turned to Darth Jar Jar, and we just started coming up with mad evidence. This video may sound crazy, but you have to remember, before I continue this video, that Darth Jar Jar is entirely CGI. It takes forever to animate each and every tiny detail, and each one is slaved over by countless people. Some of these would be considered crazy if this was a normal person, but because he's CGI, every detail can be seen as evidence. So we're going to start with evidence from The Phantom Menace. So let's start from the start of the first time we ever saw Jar Jar. Why is he on the other side of the planet? Why? If he was banished from the Gungan city, fun fact, Gungan city is called Otoa Gunga. Learn something new every day. Then why is he gone to the completely abandoned forest that just so happens to be the place where the droid MTTs are landing? As if he was asked to inspect the landing, check whether the invasion was going well? Huh? Next, he just casually pulls off an extravagant force jump, very similar to Palpatine's 1080 corkscrew spin. Suspicious? Yes. And there are multiple times throughout The Phantom Menace when a character is talking, Jar Jar mouths the same thing the character is talking. In that scene, for example, there's one with the Naboo captain, Anakin's mother, Padme, just to name a few. It's just very, very suspicious, as if he's mind controlling them. He also somehow stops Sebulba from strangling him with the move of his hand. Now if you actually watch it, it looks like he's moving his hand to stop him. I know Anakin was talking to him, but he was still strangling while Anakin was talking. Then he looked at Jar Jar, and then he did the hand, and then he stopped. Sorry, I'm getting a bit into this. Not only that, but he convinced Boss Nass to make him a general, even though he was banished. He had just been banished. They hadn't even had the Battle of Naboo yet. As well, even more, he survived the Battle of Naboo by expertly leaping over objects and accidentally destroying droids expertly, and didn't even get injured at all. Not only that, but Jar Jar can be seen fixing Anakin's pod racer without any indication that he's ever worked on ships or machinery before. And now, possibly the most important of all, is at Qui-Gon Jinn's funeral, where firstly, he stood next to Darth Sidious, despite the Sheev. He stood next to Sheev, despite the fact that he hasn't met or talked to Sheev before. And secondly, this is very hard to notice, but he smirks / smiles during the funeral. It's very hard to notice, but if you really focus in, you can see. I know solid evidence. Some of it may seem a bit crazy, and I understand that possibly it is. So, let's move on to the next film. There's only one piece of evidence I found from Attack of the Clones. If you guys have found more, comment down below. Anything to help build up this theory? It's when Jar Jar says that they should give emergency powers to Palpatine. The way he moves his arms, very expressive. We should give emergency powers to Chance. Seems to be that he's using force persuasion. As well, afterwards everyone just agrees with him. And Jar Jar is an expert in politics and stuff, which is very suspicious. Let's move on to the most convincing bit of evidence that I found. So there is one comic that takes place during the Clone Wars, the Battle of Nimban. General Lantic, who's a Jedi, gets shot and killed. His lightsaber falls on the floor. The clones he's commanding retreat. Captain Rex is one of those clones, by the way. Captain Rex disagrees and charges more droids, causing himself to get surrounded. It looks like it's the end for him. Then, Jar Jar Binks throws a lightsaber, kills the droid surrounding Rex, catches the lightsaber, and says, "Not exactly." Now, firstly, non-force sensitive people cannot wield lightsabers, and that is canon, that is a fact. So, the fact that Jar Jar pulled off a boomerang lightsaber throw without any hardship, just wham, is surprising. Next, Jar Jar can speak normally. It's actually a stereotype that all Gungans speak with strange speech impediment. So they confirm that Jar Jar can speak normally. So now I've shown you all the evidence, I'm going to piece together and show you how I think the actual theory goes. So, I think it went is Jar Jar is a Sith assassin. He's not an actual Sith. So first he was employed by Sidious to infiltrate Naboo and get into a place of power, ensure Sidious gets into a place of power as well. He manages to get the place of power using force persuasion, which he is an expert at from the amount of times we've seen him use it, and maybe a bit of murder. He disguises his evilness and calculatingness with a stereotypical Gungan personality and building the idea that he is stupid. So when Sheev finally gets his empire, becomes the emperor of the entire galaxy, Jar Jar believes that he will be rewarded with the position of an official Sith Padawan. He finally will become a Sith, which is what all Sith assassins want in the end. He goes to meet the Emperor and is told no. He is told he was only a pawn, an expendable thing used to get him into power. The Emperor tells him that he can become an Inquisitor, help hunt down the leftover Jedi and Force users, or Vader will deal with him personally. Somehow, possibly via force persuasion, which Jar Jar is an expert at, I don't want to say that, he walks away with his life in anger and hatred. He realised that he had to do something big to finally become a Sith, to win the Emperor's approval. After he used the Force to find the most powerful Force sensitive he could, it took him ages. He had a beard. He was overcome with stress. His rage was a peak, but he had to hide it behind this clumsy personality. he is starting to realise that maybe he shouldn't have followed Sidious. Maybe that was a bad idea. People hate him for giving emergency powers to the Chancellor. That's confirmed. Maybe it's starting to get to him. Until he finally finds the most powerful Force sensitive, and then he's got to go after him. It could take months, years for him to find him. On Tatooine. That's where he found the Force sensitive. But he didn't realise the child had to protect her. Obi-Wan Kenobi. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series could pick up from there. So, that's been my Darth Jar Jar theory. It took me a long time to make, so a like would be appreciated. If you did like it, if you want to see more, smash subscribe. If you do subscribe, be sure to hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I upload. I've been the Gamer Spinosaurus. You guys have been awesome. See you in the next video. Bye-bye now.